Chapter 1 1.2 by Dr. Ong. 1.2 Statement of the Problem. 1.2.1 Introduction to the Statement of the Problem. At the DBA level, the statement of the problem is not a casual declaration of, "This is the issue I want to study." It is a highly strategic, evidence-based articulation of a specific, research-worthy, and impactful business problem that directly aligns with doctoral-level scholarship. While MBA graduates have been trained to identify business issues, they are usually framed as consulting problems. How do we improve market share? Rather than doctoral research problems, what are the organizational and leadership factors influencing sustained market share growth in mid-sized technology firms in the Asia-Pacific region post-2020 digital acceleration? The difference lies in depth of academic grounding, theoretical frameworks, empirical gaps, peer-review-ed literature. Precision in scope. Too broad equals unmanageable, too narrow equals trivial. Evidence-based urgency. Proven relevance to both academia and industry. In doctoral research, the problem statement is the anchor. If it's weak, the rest of the dissertation will be unfocused. If it's strong, it drives a clear methodology, coherent literature review, and meaningful conclusions. 1.2.2 The purpose of the problem statement. For DBA students, the purpose of the problem statement is fourfold. 1. Define the exact research gap, what is not yet known, understood, or resolved in the business field. 2. Justify the research, show why this problem matters academically and practically. 3. Guide the methodology, shape how you will collect and analyze data. 4. Connect to theory, demonstrate its alignment with existing scholarly frameworks. Remember, in doctoral business research, you're not just solving a company's problem, you're advancing the body of knowledge in your discipline. 1.2.3 Characteristics of a strong DBA problem statement. A high-quality DBA level problem statement must be specific and measurable, clearly defined boundaries, rooted in evidence, supported by credible statistics, reports, and peer-review-ed studies, theoretically anchored, connected to business theories or models, industry relevant, resonates with real business challenges, actionable via research, feasible within doctoral level scope and methodology, gap-driven, addresses an existing void in the literature. 1.2.4 Moving from an MBA-style problem to a DBA-style problem. MBA-style problem. Why it's insufficient for DBA-style problem. Our company is losing customers. Too narrow, operational, not theory-driven. Despite widespread adoption of customer relationship management (CRM) systems, mid-sized B2B firms in the U.S. manufacturing sector continue to experience an average annual client attrition rate of 12%, exceeding the industry benchmark of 8%. Gartner, 2023. Current literature provides limited empirical analysis on the interaction between CRM technology adoption and internal sales culture alignment in mitigating attrition. This study addresses that gap. 1.2.5 Structure of a DBA problem statement. A doctoral level problem statement generally has four key components. 1. Contextual introduction, establish the setting and scope. 2. Evidence of the problem, use credible data and literature to show the problem is real and significant. 3. Gap in knowledge, identify exactly what is missing from existing research. 4. Implication of the gap, explain why it matters to both scholarship and industry. 1.2.6 Example of a strong DBA problem statement. Greater than. Global investment in artificial intelligence (AI) for human resources exceeded $3.2 billion United States dollars in 2022 PwC, 2023. While AI-enabled recruitment tools promise efficiency gains, emerging evidence suggests unintended bias amplification against underrepresented groups. Raghavan et al., 2020. Current literature focuses primarily on technical algorithmic fairness, leaving a gap in understanding the strategic role of executive leadership in overseeing AI ethics within recruitment. This gap poses significant reputational and compliance risks for multinational corporations. This study seeks to investigate the leadership governance mechanisms that influence ethical AI adoption in recruitment processes across Fortune 500 companies. Why this works? Context is clear, evidence is specific and credible. Gap is identified and justified. Implications are tied to both research and business practice. 1.2.7 Case Study, Crafting a DBA Problem Statement. Topic: Digital Transformation in the Retail Sector. Step 1. Context: Retail sector is undergoing rapid digitization driven by e-commerce, mobile apps, and AI. Step 2. Evidence, McKinsey 2022 reports 68% of retail transformation initiatives fail to meet ROI targets. Step 3. Gap, literature focuses on technology adoption, but little research exists on leadership styles that successfully drive transformation ROI. Step 4. Implication, without understanding leadership's role, organizations risk wasted investments and lost competitive advantage. Final problem statement. Greater than, despite a global shift toward retail digital transformation, with technology investments exceeding $200 billion United States dollars annually, IDC, 2023, 68% of such initiatives fail to meet ROI expectations. McKinsey, 2022. Existing literature predominantly addresses technological adoption and operational integration, but lacks empirical research on the leadership styles that optimize transformation outcomes. This gap in knowledge undermines organizations' ability to capture value from digital initiatives, posing strategic and financial risks in an increasingly competitive retail landscape. 1.2.8 Common mistakes to avoid in DBA problem statements. 1. Vague wording. Many companies struggle. Right pointing arrow. Who, where, when, how much. 2. Too broad or too narrow. Needs to be research manageable. 3. No literature gap. Problem must be tied to what is missing in research. 4. Lack of data. Must be supported by facts, not assumptions. 5. Solution-led problem. Avoid stating the solution in the problem. 1.2.9 Advanced problem statement writing for DBA. At this level, you must cite recent, peer-review-ed sources within 5 years preferred. Demonstrate multidisciplinary awareness if applicable. Position your problem in a global and industry-specific context. Explicitly state contribution to theory and practice. 1.2.10 Integrating theory in the problem statement. For example, transformational leadership theory, applied when exploring leadership influence on innovation adoption. Diffusion of innovations theory, Rogers, 2003, applied when examining technology uptake patterns. Dynamic Capabilities Framework, TEAS, 1997, applied when looking at organizational adaptability. When integrating theory, explain its relevance, acknowledge limitations, show how your study addresses those limitations. 1.2.11 Case Study, Problem Statement Using Theory. Topic: Leadership and AI Ethics in Healthcare. Greater than. The healthcare sector's adoption of AI diagnostic tools is projected to reach $15 billion United States dollars by 2026. Frost and Sullivan, 2023. While AI promises efficiency and accuracy, recent studies Rajprkar et al. 2022 show inconsistent outcomes across patient demographics, raising equity concerns. Transformational leadership theory suggests leaders can influence ethical adoption, yet empirical studies in healthcare settings remain scarce. This lack of research limits strategic policy development, risking patient trust and regulatory compliance. This study investigates how transformational leadership behaviors shape ethical AI implementation in hospital systems. 1.2.12 Problem Statement Checklist for DBA Students. Context clearly established. Problem supported by credible evidence. Gap in literature explicitly stated. Implication to theory and practice explained. Research scope feasible for a DBA dissertation. 1.2.13 Student Practice Exercise. Assignment. Identify your dissertation topic. Draft a 250-word problem statement following the 4-component model. Include at least 3 peer-review-ed references from the last 5 years. Highlight the literature gap in 1 sentence. 1.2.14 Final advice. Your statement of the problem is the intellectual foundation of your dissertation. A clear, evidence-based, theory-informed, and industry-relevant problem statement will make every subsequent chapter stronger. At the DBA level, your goal is not simply to solve a problem, it is to advance business knowledge while producing insights that executives can act upon.